Hi, I'm Richard Maraj, Senior Minister at Unity of Phoenix Spiritual Center, and I want to thank you for visiting our website and for tuning in to today's message. If you feel inspired by today's talk, I really encourage you to make a donation by hitting that button below and making a contribution to this ministry. It'll allow us to continue these messages online and to do the great work we do here at Unity of Phoenix, which is to inspire people to live better lives. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for your support, and we hope to see you at a Sunday real soon.
All right, good morning again, everyone. And a shout out to everybody who tunes in and watches us online. Forever Young. Isn't that a great song, great energy, makes us feel good? Because we all want to be young for as long as we can be. And I have this theory that in our culture, we're a little bit obsessed with looking young, and we're a little bit afraid of getting old. Aging is a natural part of life, but we resist getting old. We hate getting old. We fight it. We avoid it at any possible cost. The number of things we do to stay young looking is amazing. You get a wrinkle, next thing, it's oil of Olay and any anti-aging, anti-wrinkle, an injection of Botox, acid skin peel, because we want our skin to look good. And not just wrinkles and things that start to sag. They move from the original starting position, and then so we got to lift it. Eye lift, face lift. We lift all kinds of things because we don't want to look old. Gray hair is another one. We start dyeing it, coloring the hair. My least favorite thing about getting old is that hair stops growing in the place I want it to be, and it starts growing in places I don't want it to be. You know, but if you seriously look at it, look how much money we spend on trying to look old, look younger, and fighting aging. I mean, it's amazing how much we resist getting older. Here are some signs that you know you're getting older. You know you're getting older when you go to the fortune teller and they read your face instead of your palm. That's a sign you're getting older. You know you're getting older when your favorite station on cable is the Weather Channel. That is a sign. You know you're getting older when you shop at Target and Walmart for the great clothes they have there. You know you're getting older when your wife suggests that you pull in your stomach and you get a hernia when you do it. You know you're getting older when the candles on your cake set off the sprinkler system. That's a sign. You know you're getting older when it takes you all night to do what you used to do all night. That's a sign that it's... And praise the Lord, the last one is, you know you're getting older when your pants creep up until you're just a pair of pants and a head. You know, it just... So, thank you. All right. It's very, very generous of you. Thanks. So the truth is, I mean, nobody wants to get old. And my question for you is, what are you most afraid of and concerned about in getting older? What brings out a fear of you in getting older? And what does getting older represent to you? Because in very interesting ways in our culture, the way we value youth and sometimes don't appreciate being older, sometimes getting older scares us because it means we're going to be less active. We're going to be less capable. We're going to be less productive, less valuable. You know, we're going to be even less attractive. We get concerned about getting older. You know, because sometimes even in the workforce, that no matter what great an athlete is, once he gets a certain age, he's not as in demand. Same with executives and stuff. So we have this real concern. We want to be older. We want to look older. One of the greatest compliments we all get is when anybody says, "Wow, you look 10 years younger," isn't it? We love it when someone says, "Oh, you don't look your age. You look so much younger." And then we get insulted when it's the other way around. So like I'm the youngest of five brothers, youngest boy of 10 kids, and my brother comes to visit twice a year. And somebody came up to me a couple weeks ago and said, "Wow, I just met your younger brother. How much younger is he than you?" And it's like, he's 6 years older. He's shorter, but he's older. And then we start making up stuff to help ourselves feel better. Like my least favorite, I think the adorable one is 50 is the new 30. 60 is the new 40. 70 is the new 50. 110 is the new 105. I mean, where does it end? It's just crazy. A friend of mine, he had his birthday for his wife. She turned 70. Instead of putting happy 70th, he put happy 70. That's French for 70, because everything in French sounds better than it is, far more romantic. But what's really interesting is when they say, a 50 is the new 30, is that people are more active today. Do you know people who enter senior living homes are average about 81 years old now that enter, where in the 1950s it was 65. So people are much more active. There was a guy on Facebook, he was this 80-year-old Japanese bodybuilder. I mean, they had a 100-meter sprint of people who were 100 years old the other day. It was phenomenal. So people are looking younger. They are more active. So here's a question for you. If you could go back to being 25 again, would you do it? And you know what's interesting? They asked that question in a study, and 62% of people said even if they could, they wouldn't do it. And do you know in a survey, 71% of people say the happiest time in their lives is when they're in their 40s and when they're in their 50s. There's some great things about getting older. You get wiser, you get more understanding, you increase your level of awareness, your appreciation for life, your acceptance of yourself and others. We tend to be much more comfortable in our skin as we get older, and we tend to be a little clearer on who we are. So I think it's interesting that we want to look younger, we want to feel younger, we want to act younger, but we don't want to be younger. So the whole idea about being young is about being young in spirit, being young in heart, being youthful in our outlook and how we think, and open to possibilities and being much more creative. In the Bible, it tells us this a basic idea. Jesus said to enter the kingdom of heaven, you must become as a child. And it doesn't mean to become a baby again or turn back to that chronological age of 25 or any other age. What he's saying is you must enter that childlike purity, that innocent spirit, that joyful spirit, that optimistic and hopeful spirit, that curious and trusting spirit that lives in all of us. Because sometimes as we get older, we get a little more cynical, a little more jaded, a little more critical and judgmental, And so what he's saying is to enter the fullness of life in the kingdom of heaven, you must become as a child. That spirit that is still in you, you get back to it, to that innocence and that openness, and that's how you experience the kingdom of heaven. That's how you experience the fullness of life. That is how you stay forever young. So today we are in week 3 of our 4-week series, our annual series called The Songs of Life, because we absolutely believe that songs do something to us. We hear a song, it lifts us out of a difficult time or helps soothe us or get through some things or inspire us and touch us in great ways. Week 1, we did Hungry Heart by Bruce Springsteen. Last week we did Get Together by the Youngbloods, and today we're doing Rod Stewart's 1988 hit, Forever Young. Now, he wrote that song because he was on the road a lot and missing his kids' lives, and he wrote it as a little tribute and intention for his kids. And it really, really is cool. And let's listen just to the beginning words. It says, may the good Lord be with you down every road you roam, and may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home. May you grow to be proud, dignified and true, and do unto others what you'd have done to you. Be courageous and be brave, and in my heart you'll always stay forever young. Isn't that a beautiful intention for your kids? But I think that's a fabulous way for anyone to want to live. It is amazing. And so I think it's an intention and desire we all have. Those words really, really encourage us, and what a great and wonderful and full way to experience the kingdom of heaven and the fullness of life. Jesus said these words. He said, he came that we may have life and have it more abundantly. And when we think of abundance, sometimes we think of quantity. More life, eternal life. But I really think when Jesus said he came that we may have life and have it more abundantly, he was talking about quality, not quantity. To have a fuller and more meaningful, have a richer and a deeper experience of this amazing gift that we are called life. It isn't just about how long we live it, it's how well we live it. And to me, that's what living with a young spirit is really all about. So this morning, I want to use some of the lines in this fabulous song, Forever Young, to see how it can teach us and inspire us to live more fully. So I love the first line, may the good Lord be with you down every road you roam, and may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home. I would change those words just slightly to say that the good Lord is with you down every road you turn. And happiness and sunshine surround you when you're far from home. See, sometimes we feel disconnected from God. Sometimes we feel disconnected from joy. Sometimes we feel disconnected. And we feel like our life is about searching how to find the thing that's going to bring us joy and happiness. What we need to do to try and get closer to God. You know, in 5 BC, Herodotus wrote about the fountain of youth. This mythical place where we could go and bathe and be young and happy again, where we could be renewed and refreshed. It hit its zenith, this whole idea of the fountain of youth, in the 16th century with Ponce de Leon. And again, he was looking for this thing and didn't find it. And because the truth, it is already within us. It is already around us. You know, we think that we're distant from God. We think that God is far away when the truth is we live and move and have our very being in God's presence. Here's a fabulous, one of my favorite Psalms, Psalm 139. Here's what it says. It says, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will hold me fast and guide me. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me and the night will become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is not light to you." That whole thing says that you can't run anywhere from God. That in every moment, whatever road you turn, God is with you. That we are always in the presence of God, but we aren't always present to that presence. Remember when Jacob said, "I was in the house of the Lord and I knew it not." That we live and move and have our very being in God, but our minds aren't always present to it. Somebody once said, if you feel distant from God, who moved? Think about that. The fact is, the only thing is a disconnection from our own awareness. And the question is, are you willing to pause to connect with that living Spirit of God? Because in you is a fountain of peace. There is a fountain of youth. There is a fountain of light and love and joy. But are you turning to it on a regular basis? The kingdom of God is within you. The fountain of youth is within you. The Spirit through which all things are made possible. All inspiration and guidance, all that you seek in terms of love and joy and peace and wisdom is already within you. But do you turn to it? And are you willing to take time to quiet your mind to get to that place? Because that is the Spirit. It is the Spirit of God. It is a Spirit that makes everything possible. And that's the first step to staying forever young. That's the first thing to enter the kingdom of heaven, is to open your heart to God. Open your mind and your awareness to know that you're already in it. It is in you and you are in it. And to live in that awareness. Because happiness and sunshine surround us wherever we go, because the light's already within. So the second thing about being forever young, let's look at his line. He says, "May you grow to be proud, dignified, and true." And one thing I'm really clear about is that God has a plan for every one of our lives. Nobody's here by accident. That everybody is here on purpose, and God has a plan for your life to do great and amazing things. But the thing about it is that you need to grow into all you came here to be. That nobody just comes instantly and they're just what they're here to be. That we grow into that stature. An acorn has the potential to grow into an oak tree, but it needs the conditions and the time for it to unfold and develop. A caterpillar has the potential to be a butterfly, but it takes time to grow into that. It even says with Jesus, Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, so that the fullness of the Christ that he demonstrated was in potential, but it takes time. It takes time. And I love it. It says, may you grow to be proud, dignified, and true. May you go to be proud, to own who you are and accept who you are, to be dignified, to stand and to show up in life with integrity and character, and to be true, to be your authentic self. To grow into the truth of who you came here to be. You know, I mean, who I am today is better than I used to be, and in the future I'll be better than who I am today. Standing before you, I am Richard Maraj 6, and there's a Richard Maraj 6 Plus coming, and there's a Richard Maraj 7. Just like iPhones get better, and that's why my favorite affirmation is, each and every day, in each and every way, my life is getting better and better and better. Let's say it. Each and every day, in each and every way, my life is getting better and better and better. So do you have the intention to grow into all that you came here to be? It doesn't happen just overnight. Scripture says, first the blade, then the ear, then the full ear and the corn. We're in an evolutionary process. So don't be impatient. You know what it takes to grow into everything? It takes intention, it takes effort, and it takes time. So are you clear about the intention, about being all that God's called you to be? Are you willing to do the inner and the outer work? And are you willing to have the patience to know that in time you will unfold into everything you're meant to be, like from the acorn to the oak tree, like from the caterpillar to the butterfly? See, Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, all of them, they unfolded and grew into the fullness of who they came to be. Every one of us is here to do that. The question is, are you willing to have the mindset of a learner and the attitude of someone who will grow from all of your experiences into something greater? Because that's who we came to be, something amazing. And the next thing it says, and do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Interesting, I saw an interview with Katie Couric and Deepak Chopra. And Katie Couric asked Deepak Chopra and said, so what do you think the secrets are to living a long and happy life? And Deepak said, be loving, be kind, be compassionate, and be empathetic to the people around you. Do you know Buddhism, the number one thing it says about happiness? The absolute key to being happy is having compassion towards others. That if we want to stay young, if we want to be joyful in our lives, you got to reach out and care and help other people, to be kind and loving and caring to others. Anybody ever see the TV show The Prophet? Anybody see it? Okay, apparently 3 of us see the show. Fabulous show. What I really like about the show, so it's about this guy, Marcus Lemonis, and he goes into businesses and he helps them improve their businesses. And he says businesses fail or succeed on 3 things: people, process, product. And 90% of the time, it's about people. He said, how we treat each other in business or life is the key to the success of that business. That with his employees, with their partners, number one thing he helps them work on is, are you being honest? Are you being thoughtful? Are you being caring to one another? Because when you have that foundation, the process and the product will get better. But it's all based on people and caring for one another. I saw a thing on Facebook as well, and it had the championship of soccer with these kids, the Spanish team against the Japanese team. The Spanish team won, and it was 1-0, and they celebrated. And then, they shake hands. They come down the center, and they shake hands. All the Japanese kids were bawling their eyes out. They're bawling and devastated. And what I loved was all the Spanish kids, as they went, were hugging them, rubbing their head, touching their face and their chest, reassuring that everything was okay. I watched this thing 2 or 3 times in a row. My heart just opened. And why? Because when you see people being kind and compassionate, it opens your heart to be more kind and compassionate. And I absolutely believe that when you reach out and you encourage someone, you are encouraged. When you reach out and comfort someone, you are comforted. When you help somebody bring out the best in them, you help bring out the best in you. When you help someone feel good, it helps you feel good. When you help someone succeed, it makes you succeed. Do you know an interesting study I heard once? It said that somebody who's going through AA or any addiction thing, that when they know that somebody loves them and believes them, they have a 30% chance, a higher chance of actually handling that situation better. Does that make sense? Because when you know someone's there for you, who believes in you, who cares for you, amazing and wonderful things happen. So who in your life needs your encouragement? Who in your life needs your support? Or I like to do it this way. Whatever you think is missing in your life, give it to somebody else. Do unto others as you'd have them do to you. So if you feel like you need more appreciation, go appreciate somebody else. You feel like you need more respect, go respect someone else. You want to feel like you're not getting supported, go support somebody else. I guarantee you, by the law of cause and effect, it will come back to you in amazing ways. You want to stay young and vibrant and alive? Help other people. Encourage other people. Help people bring out the best in them, and it will bring out the best in you and your life. And the final thing we're going to talk about, it says, be courageous and be brave. You want to live a great life? Sometimes you got to be courageous and brave and be daring, to be bold, to go after your dream, to ask for what you need, to step out there in a great and amazing way. And that's an important thing, but there's something that takes even more courage and to be brave, and that is sometimes in life you need to know when to let go. You need to know when to stop. One of the things that human beings do particularly well or poorly, depending on how you look at it, is we hold on to grudges. Sometimes when someone says something or does something to us, we hold on to that grudge. We hold on to that anger. We hold on to that pain. And nothing makes us old quicker than holding on to bitterness and blame and resentment and anger and shame. Nothing, weighs the body down more than those things. One thing I love about kids, they get mad at each other, they'll have a good cry, and then they're back out playing with each other again. They get over things. I read a study about people who live to 100 years old, and besides genetics, they ask them, what are the most important things that help you live to not only 100, but live a good life? It was good attitude, goals, social setting, and the fourth one is learning how to let go. The Eagles have a great song called Get Over It, and sometimes we need to just get over it, but we will let the mistakes and the hurts and pains and the resentments still go on. A few years back, my mentor, Dr. Kermit Long, amazing minister, amazing man. I met him at 90, and he passed at 94. I learned so much from him in those 4 years. He used to ask me to come speak at the Vesper service at the retirement place that he used to be in. And I said, what do you want me to speak about? He says, forgiveness. Talk about forgiveness. And he would say, I'm always amazed at these old people. I love this 90-year-old guy saying, those old people. Old people is always anybody but us. Don't you find that? There were a whole bunch of old people there. So anyway, so he said what he found was amazing. What he found amazing was here are people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, and they're still holding on to resentments. Still holding on. At this late stage of their life, this is how they're investing their time of being bitter and angry, and it's not a healthy and good thing. We are wasting and stopping ourselves from really living, by holding on to resentments. So we need to find that childlike nature in us that can have a good cry and then move on and keep living. Because we stop ourselves from so much joy, so much life, so much happiness, and so much success by getting stuck and holding on to stuff. And it takes courage to let go. You got to be brave to be willing to forgive and to release. But it frees us to live a greater and better life. Getting older is a part of life. But I think it's a beautiful and important and wonderful thing. George Bernard Shaw won an Academy Award. He won a Nobel Prize in Literature for the many plays he wrote. His most successful was called Pygmalion. It was made into a movie called My Fair Lady. He had some great quotes, some of my favorite all-time quotes from George Bernard Shaw. He said, I look at life, some people look at life and ask why. I look at life at how it could be and ask why not. Another one he said, I want to be thoroughly used up when I die. I want to bring my life to joy and use it as like a candle, and I want to hold on to it until it's my turn to pass it off. That he wanted to use and be thoroughly used up when he died. Do you know how he died? He died of complications from a fall he took from a ladder, pruning an apple tree at the age of 94. Now there's that spirit of youth. He was old, he wanted to be used up, and his spirit was still going, pruning a tree at 94 years old. What a way to go. The fact is, we're all going to get wrinkles, we're all going to get gray hairs, things will start sagging, but I said we got to be proud. I look at my gray hair, I'm proud, because that means I lived. I look at the scars and all those things, it means that we're lived, that we are in the arena, that we're daring and giving the very best of ourselves. So how do we do it? Let's choose to be young by remembering God is with you down every road. To remember that you may grow proud, dignified, and true. To remember to do unto others the good and have the bravery and courage to get over those things. Don't let anything stop you, and keep moving forward and living the great life and being the amazing person you came here to live. That's how you enter the fullness of the kingdom of heaven. And that is how you stay forever young. God bless you all.